And the latest addition to my office wall art. Very well done, super impressed. Thank you, ladies. I apologize for you viewers having to look at the back wall behind me when I record videos, but I can assure you, slowly but surely, I will fill that wall. Hello and welcome back, everybody. This is another What Sold on eBay video. My name is Brendan. Welcome to Dad Planet. This is for the week of June 15th through the 21st. This is the third What Sold on eBay video that I do every month. And then the fourth video, I tack all of the end of the month's days onto that. So this is a full 7-day period. As you can see, the total sales are $35,24.09. And if you look, I'm trying not to cover the numbers here with the little box showing me that the net sales were $2,400. You can see the selling costs, the taxes and government fees. Not a bad week, can't complain. I have 10 bolos for you that I'm hoping you folks can source as well. So we're just gonna jump right into it now, starting with the first one. And I sourced 11 pairs of Rock Revival jeans at a garage sale recently. I paid $5 for each pair. This pair sold for $49.99. The buyer paid $9.70 in shipping and then $3.73 in tax. So they're $63.42 all in. I paid $50 for all 11 pairs, so I'm like $4.50, $5 into each pair. The reason I'm showing you this bolo is if you see them in stores or you're also sourcing them elsewhere and they have flaws, don't be afraid to buy them anyway, source them and sell them. As you can see, and I disclose this, you can see that in the item, not in the description, but in the I don't know, that initial description part, I forget what that's called. But it's missing the R in the word revival. Other than that, the jeans are in excellent condition. So don't be afraid to source Rock Revival jeans, even if they have some flaws, because they still sell well. So I got $50 for these. And you can see a little bit of fraying there on the bottoms too. It's still a great sale. I've sold every single pair except maybe 2 or 3. I have 2 or 3 left in my inventory. I don't know, just go look and see what I have items for sale. And you can see which ones I have left. But yeah, the lesson here is on Rock Revival jeans. And I'm not sourcing jeans at all in stores. I don't even bother looking through the jeans section anymore. And you'll hear a lot of sellers moving away from clothing. I'm not necessarily moving away from clothing. I'm moving closer to the group of people that are fearful of going out more often than they would be during a pandemic. So I'm kind of focused on that buyer as an avatar. But jeans, obviously they still sell. Rock Revivals is a great brand. Sold in, I don't know, are those sold in Buckle? I can't remember even where you get those. But great sale here. I'm pleased with it. So keep your eye out for Rock Revivals, even if they've got flaws. Next one here. So this Hasbro figure is Sentinel, and he was huge. He was huge. Like, this is a big and bulky toy. So if you can envision 16 inches. And normally in a Goodwill, if they don't know what an item is and they've looked it up, and I'm talking about like the management staff, the working staff, the pricers, if they can't find information on what they think they should price an item for, normally if it's just big, bulky, and heavy, they'll price it higher based only on those 2 variables. In this instance, this thing was only priced $2.99 because they couldn't figure out who it was. So I went and did the research and figured out that this was Sentinel because I was not a Marvel kid. When I was young, I played with He-Man. I played with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I played with Transformers, but I wasn't a Marvel, outside of the Spider-Mans of the world. I really wasn't big on all of the Marvel characters, Thor, Hulk, whoever. And I didn't know who Sentinel was. So this is a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive toy. So this one, for you folks, is going to be extremely hard to find. It was only sold at this convention that's held, I think it's only held once a year. Maybe it's twice, but I'm pretty sure it's only once a year. I would love to go to one of those. I won't be doing any traveling during the pandemic, that's for sure. Not if I don't have to. This was a 2011 San Diego Comic-Con exclusive 16-inch Sentinel figure. it worked. I tested it. The eyes light up. It makes a bunch of sounds. And I had a buyer reach out to me shortly after I listed this and say, hey, I'm willing to give you 99 bucks. The recent sales, I just saw one sealed in the box sold for $99.99. And, you know, my response was, yeah, no thanks. I want to hold out on my price. But in my brain, I was like, cool story, bro. I know what I'm doing here. Because these are really, really hard to find. So I got full price for it maybe 2 or 3 days later. $119.99. They paid $10.20 in shipping for a total of $130.19. And again, I only paid $2.99 for this figure. Very cool, very big, very bulky. I did have to clean it up a little bit because he was kind of a little bit dusty, a little bit rusty, but it worked great. Battery compartment was clean, and I was super happy with this sale. So that was a pretty cool one. All right, next I paid $1.99 for this Celestial Sun Cobalt Blue mug. There are comparables, and I will put them on the screen for this exact mug. I shot for the high end, and I got full price, $29.99. The buyer paid $9.60 in shipping and then $307 in tax. So $42.66 they are all in for this mug. There's nothing to it. Here's a couple more pictures of it. In good condition. The graphics were vibrant. No chips, no cracks, no crazing of any kind. Made in the USA. I don't know exactly who made this mug or what brand it is, if it's a brand at all. But I almost kept it. I very, very rarely do that. I'm a mug snob. It's one of the few things that I like holding in my hand in the morning. That first cup of coffee, it's like the best thing in the world. My God. So I almost kept this because I, too, was fond of the mug. But I'm a seller way before I'm a buyer, way before I'm a collector. So 30 bucks on $1.99 for a mug is pretty sweet. If you see cobalt blue mugs in general, please look them up. If you see one that is identical to this, grab it. So you've got like the Celestial Sun collectors, the cobalt blue collectors, maybe the fact that it was made in the USA collectors. You got a lot of things working for you on this one, so it was a pretty good sale, so keep your eye out. Okay, so a Singer 5520, it's a Singer Scholastic sewing machine, model 5523. This was as close to brand new in the box as you could get, and they had it priced at $19.99. So if you look at the recent sales, recent comparables, and I'll put those up on the screen again, you'll see that they sell in the $250 to $300 range, brand new. So at 20 bucks, I tested it. I recorded a video of it working. It sold very, very quickly to a buyer who's, I believe this was either her second or her third purchase on eBay. So, you know, maybe pre-pandemic, this was a buyer that wasn't purchasing things online. You never know. It created, the virus did, a whole slew of new online buyers that have a new hobby. So maybe this was one of them. I don't know. I've sold a lot recently that I'm noticing they only have 1, 2 feedbacks, 0 feedbacks. Never be afraid to sell to those people. So took the shot on it, took a shot on making this purchase, tested it, it worked fine, and I got full price. $250, $15.23 they paid in shipping and $16.84 in tax. So this wonderful lady is $282.06 all in. Like I said, I only paid $20 for the unit. The Singer Scholastic 5523. Grab it. Even at, I'm thinking in my brain, like even if this was marked $70 or $80, if I knew I was going to get $250 to $300, I would still have made the purchase, right? So don't be afraid to take a lower margin to make a higher sale, right? 70 bucks, I still would have paid, okay? I just happened to get lucky that they had this marked $19.99. It's one of those instances, again, where they don't want to test it. They're just trying to get products in and out. It's one that, for whatever reason, they didn't want to put on Shop Goodwill, and I took advantage of that. So it worked out in my favor, and it will work out in your favor too, more often than not, the more times you go and source. So get in those stores and make it happen. So move on to the next one. Hoka's. This brand shoe should not be a Bolo. It should be one that you know of by now. I have a lot of Hoka's in my previous videos, and I'm hoping you're watching those too. There's a lot of stuff in there that I feel like that would benefit you in the long run too. But I priced these really high. So I bought them for 10 bucks on Facebook Marketplace, and I went to this woman's condominium and stood in the rain because she couldn't find them. So this was like right in the middle of the pandemic, and I was okay with that. It didn't matter to me. It was a light drizzle. I mean, it was like a very minor inconvenience, and she couldn't find the shoes. So I'm not going to go in if you invite me in. I mean, I could just go back and sit in my car, but it was just kind of a weird situation. I don't know. You know how those marketplace exchanges go. It's just never, it's never the same twice. So I priced them high at $74.99. I'm going to show you a picture of the soles because the shoes were in really good condition. I mean, you can almost tell there's almost like those ridges, almost no wear to them, even though they're, they're clearly pre-owned. So I got it. It took a while to sell, like maybe a month, maybe 6 weeks. The Arahi is the style here. They're black, white, and gold. And the buyer paid $9.90 in shipping and $6.15 in tax. So they're $91.04 all in on a pair of used Hokas that I paid $10 for. Keep your eye out for them in stores. Hoka right now you're in a situation where even with the soles having like moderate to considerable wear, you're still getting $20 to $25 to $30 for those shoes. So keep that in mind. Now, if you source them in that condition, understand that the rate will increase of potentially having an unhappy buyer with that condition once they receive them. It goes down the better condition they're in. I mean, you can make this case for any number of products, but with Hoka specifically, you'll still get 20 to 30 bucks even with considerable wear on the soles of these shoes. That's how well this brand is selling even in well-worn condition. So keep that in mind, but continue to source Hoka because boy, they sell so well. So another pair of shoes, Nike Flyknit trainers. I listed these for $49.99 and within like 30 minutes somebody made an offer. Now these were, mind you, this would have hit my 50% off sale. So I would have been happy with $25 for these shoes. And the reason I would have been happy with them is because they did not come with insoles. So no insoles, but I mean they looked almost brand new. I mean the soles look, like maybe they were just like a store sample. I don't know, who knows. But a buyer messaged me within like minutes of me listing them and said, hey, would you take $39.99? Can you ship them out ASAP? And I said, absolutely. So they sold for $39.99 and buyer paid $10.90 in shipping, $4.20 in tax, so they're $55.09 all in. And I paid $4.29 for them at a thrift store. The style number is AH8396. And then the color code number is 001 for these Nikes. This is definitely a Bolo. So keep your eye out for them as well. Size 10, great size. I love it. I'll take 40 bucks on these, absolutely, with no insoles. Next item here, I paid $70 for both of these on Facebook Marketplace. A lady had mentioned that these were pending when I contacted her originally. And I said, okay, no problem, and then forgot about it. And then maybe a week or 2 weeks later, time went on, and she messaged me and said, hey, are you still interested in these items? She had them listed for $100, and I said, yes, but I would rather pay 70. Are you okay with 70 bucks? She said, let's do it. I showed up, gave her the 70 bucks, took these items, and then resold them here for full price. So CH Products is the brand. This is Flight Simulator. This is the a pedal set, and then the controller. So selling the two of them together, I got $210. Parting them out or just selling them separate, they're Bolos in and of themselves. So you'll get money for the controller, you'll get money for the steering wheel, and you'll get money for the pedals as well. The pedals, I don't believe the pedals move, so keep that in mind. Some buyers are going to want the pedals that you can actually press and move. So I didn't have that in my description. It didn't matter in this instance, but in yours, if you find these and you source these, mention that because it does make a little bit of a difference. So anyway, I got $210 for them. Buyer paid $18.15 in shipping and then $18.25 in tax. So $246.39 all in. Again, I paid $70. They basically looked like they were unused. One of those instances where somebody bought this and then used it one time and they just collected dust. So never got any use of them again. It had all of the components that were necessary, the CDs and all the other goodness, the manuals. So this was a pretty good sale, and it just goes to show you the more offers you make and the more people you reach out to, the more money you're going to make at the end of the day. So good sale there. All right, the next one. This is one where I kind of had to guess. I wouldn't normally source at JCPenney anything, but for whatever reason this stood out to me. So this was a vintage JCPenney USA Olympics embroidered sweatshirt. That's it. And there's nothing more to it. There's the Olympic tag on there. So like JCPenney, maybe they were an official sponsor of USA Olympics back when this was manufactured. I'm not really sure. As far as comparable sales go, there were none, if I remember correctly, to go back on. But so I had to guess on my price tag, and I'm glad that I picked this up because it only cost me $4.99, even though it took 4, 5, 6 months to sell. It may have even taken longer than that. I don't remember exactly. It sold for full price, so I got $59.99 for the sweatshirt, $10.90 the buyer paid in shipping, so $70, $89. They are all in. Again, $5 for me. It was clean. It was in really good condition. It was the interesting thing about this brand sweatshirt was it was very, very soft. So it was really well made for JCPenney. When I think of JCPenney, I think like cheap and terrible condition. That's how I view JCPenney. Are JCPenney even in business anymore? Didn't they go out of sale? Or go out of business? I don't recall. But this goes to show you sometimes when you guess right. So this was one of those times where I just picked my poison, picked my price, and it worked to my benefit. So the recurring theme: don't be afraid to price high. All right, so Mulholland leather is a bolo. There aren't that many of them listed, if I remember correctly, online. This was a Facebook Marketplace purchase for me. I paid $15 for this bag, and then $15 for another Mulholland item that was sold by from the same lady. So $30. I went and scooped them up. I still have the other item. This was the carry-on duffel bag, leather. It is really a beautiful bag. The feel, the make, there was barely a scratch on it. I don't think this was ever used. So I'll show you pictures of the interior here. There's the tag. Sometimes the tag will say just Mulholland, and sometimes it will say Mulholland Brothers. So keep that in mind. But when you find them, pull your phone out and do some math, because you'll get good money for this. So somebody reached out to me and asked if I would take an offer, which I accepted. So I took $179.99 for the bag, and they paid $14.76 to ship, $16.07 in tax. So they're $210.82 all in, $15 for me, and I got $180 for that. That's a wonderful sale there. So Whiskey Expedition fabric here is one of the fabrics used, and then the handles were saddle leather. So you may want to put that in your description. But Mulholland in general, even though this was I feel like a slower sale, like a couple of months is a slower sale, just because things have been selling so quickly lately online with the whole virus deal. But 2 months is still, in the grand scheme of things, pretty quick. And $180 on 15. I mean, what can I tell you? It's a great sale. So keep your eye out for Mulholland leather. And then the last one. This was in one of my haul videos. I didn't know exactly how to price these, because while this Adidas powerlifting shoe had some sales, like there were comparable sales that I could work off of, this color combination or this colorway I did not. So I kind of had to guess, and it's blue with like lime green. You don't see that too often. So is this going to really like reduce the amount of people in the market for these shoes based on the color alone, or am I going to get lucky because it's a rare colorway that I haven't seen yet? You don't really know, so you kind of have to take the chance. And this is another, just like the JCPenney one, where I'm just going to shoot for what I think is high, and then let's see if we can get pleasantly surprised. You should always reduce your price later. So sure enough, they sold $69.99, $9.70 in tax, or in shipping, $4.78 in tax, so $84.47 all in. I paid, I believe, $9.99 for these shoes at a thrift store, and what a wonderful sale. $70 for a pair of shoes. Even that, for me, I'm used to paying $4, $5 for shoes. Okay, so I had to pay double for them. Big deal. But 10 on 70, you have to take that deal 100% of the time in this business. So for me, $70 was high. Even 40 on 10 would have been an excellent return. But I went high, got high, and yeah, what can I tell you? They're gone. That's it. So 10 more sales from the week that was. The next video will tack on the rest of the days in June. Hey, if you haven't subscribed yet, if you liked what you saw, if you're learning, thanks for sharing this 15-20 minutes with me here on internet land. And yeah, we will We will see you in the next video.